Welcome to another episode of B Never Ending's trial run, where I, Glyza, here myself, interview all kinds of TTRPG personalities from GMs, DMs, game designers, and everything else in between. Today we have the wonderful Aliza Pearl to interview today, and she's gonna create a character with us, and then I'm gonna run her through a one shot. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fantastic. Aliza, why don't you introduce a little bit about yourself and just where we can find you normally?
Sure. Well, normally you can find me at Aliza Pearl on Twitter and Instagram. And sometimes I'm on TikTok. I post like once every couple weeks or like a bunch of times and then don't post for like 3 weeks. My TikTok is the real Aliza Pearl, Aliza. And what else? You can find me. I play games on a lot of different channels, but currently the Stream Punks is one of my mainstays. And the Cookout RPG. I'm running a game there that is going to be premiering in early July. So just in a couple of weeks.
I am actually really excited about that game. From what I've heard, I'm friends with the people there, so I kind of know in the background what's going, even though I'm not supposed to know anything. So, Aliza, we met on a game. We met. Was that your first time DMing? I remember you telling me that was your first time DMing. Was that
sort of? It was
Okay.
my first time DMing a full campaign. I have done lots of one-shots here and there, or like several one-shots here and there. I had also put myself through like DM grad school for 2 years because I was nervous about DMing. Even though by that point I had been GMing for a few years. I was like, actually, I had been GMing since like 2018. So that's about what we started playing in 2021, right? Yeah. So that's like 3 years. I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know that oh, by the way, Trial Run is where we will also be creating characters while I'm interviewing Aliza Pearl. And the character that we're creating, I keep just saying your whole name, and it's fun.
That's okay. It's great. I like that. I enjoy that actually.
The great Aliza Pearl, like so Aliza's gonna create a character that we're gonna be running through a one shot later. We're gonna be using Teens in Space because I asked Aliza which one she wanted to try, and I said, and she said Teens in Space, and I said that's really cool. So we're gonna play a little bit of Teens in Space today, and I'm very excited to see where the story will take us. But while we're doing that, while Aliza is creating her character, I'm going to ask her a bunch of questions that I thought about and see what she says. There are usually two kinds of TTRPG players in the space that we're in right now. There are players who have been there since they were kids, been playing since the 80s, grew up with it, all that. And then there are the new ones that came in during let's say it's the resurgence of TTRPG, where Geek and Shunju came, Critical Role, all of that. Where do you fall in those things?
I'm excited to answer that question, but first, do you need my species and trope yet?
Yes, actually, if you could give that to me.
I think I just decided, so I wanted to just make sure you had that. I think I'm gonna do Calcians, which are mechanical recreations of an extinct species. Yeah, that sounds kind of cool.
That sounds fun. And you're going to have a lot of fun with the character creator for that one.
Oh, great. Okay.
Your trope, please.
My trope? Okay, that I haven't figured out.
That's okay. Take your time.
I'm going to look at the list real quick. Is that page 108? 108, okay.
Yes.
108. Okay, tropes. I'm going to do this real quick. Oh, I see. Captain, diplomat, do-gooder, dreamer, an engineer, exiled royalty. Ooh, exiled royalty. Explorer, experiment, face, flyboy, hitchhiker.
There's so much.
Lone survivor kind of makes sense, like for the species. I think I'm gonna do lone survivor.
Okay, lone survivor it is.
Okay.
Oh no, that's because of that. Don't worry about it. All right, so lone survivor. Ooh.
Yes. I already have an idea about some of these things. Okay.
There's so many you could go with that one because in Never Ending, there are mechanical or cybernetic skin types that you can use, as Jamie so says, but you can do so much. Never Ending's character creation is really one of my favorite things because they are very, they have so many choices with body builds, types. There's even accessibility types, but you'll discover this as you're creating your character. But yes, where in the TTRPG scale do you fall? The new one, the new writers, or the old guard?
I am a new one. Yeah. So I'm an actor.
Mhm.
That's like my main career pursuit, you can say. And I started doing improv in the early 2010s at UCB at a place called Improv Theater. And then that spun off into me having these two groups that I do improv with still to this day. The Improvised Generation, we do Star Trek improv, and then Ripley Improv, which is an all-women improv group. And so improv has been a core part of my like creative life. And because of the Improvised Generation and just my general like getting super into like my trekkiness and space science and stuff, I got invited to work for Nerdist and Geek and Sundry.
Oh.
And so Nerdist, I was hired as a writer working on Nerdist News and Nerdist Presents, like their sketch comedy stuff. And then Geek and Sundry, around the same time, like within a week of each other, they both kind of approached me about working for them. And then it worked. It turned out that I could do both jobs at the same time, which was nice. Because the Geek and Sundry gig was being a player in their Star Trek Adventures campaign.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was once a week, and we played it for about a year. It's called Shield of Tomorrow. And it was like my first long-term. I had played D&D maybe once before. Like I was super new to TTRPGs, but I fell so hard in love with them. And I literally have not stopped playing since. Like since 2017, I think I've always been in a campaign or running one.
That's
like
awesome.
Literally, I can't think of, I don't think there's been a time since then that I have not been in a game of some kind.
And that's really cool to hear, because when I got into it, I hyper fixated, and instead, like the first time I played, I went straight up to DMing instead of becoming a character, and I hyper fixated, and I finished the campaign and then didn't touch it for 2 to 3 years because I was like, all right, that's enough for now. And like
Gotcha.
it's just so much it becomes a part of your life that it's hard to let go.
Yeah.
Was it what was the part of TTRPG that drew you in? Was it the improv? What is it about TTRPG that is just so hard to let go for you?
It is the perfect convergence of all the things I love. So acting, improv, writing, storytelling, make-believe, collaborative storytelling, connecting with people, telling stories together. I just said the same thing 3 times because I really like that part of it. And also just all the different genres that you can play games in. Like literally all the genres can be played as TTRPG games. And of course, I'm super into space science and TTRPG and sci-fi and fantasy too. Like high fantasy, gothic horror. Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Star Trek are my 2 biggest favorite fandoms of my own personal fandoms. So yeah, like you can do all of that with TTRPGs. And yeah, it just felt like the perfect place for me to just creatively do my thing.
So you mentioned like you loved the storytelling aspect of TTRPGs. You mentioned it like so okay, here's the thing. When it comes to storytelling, are you more of a character focused or are you more of a world focused? I bring this up because, and no judgment to anybody else, I am a world focused person. I like lore drops of the world, to the point where sometimes my characters suffer. In all senses of the word suffer. But what about you? How do you prefer the world building or the character building?
Yeah, it's hard to say because like it really depends on the campaign, when I'm a player, here's the thing, when I'm a player, I will take cues from the world to build my character. And then from there on out, it's like diving down into the character, what makes them tick, why they are the way they are, what choices they make in life. So that's more, to me, that's a little bit more straightforward. Like I have kind of just like one main way that I approach being a character, a player in a game. But then, and also being a player and character, I also like dichotomies. So I will purposefully choose characters where there's either something that like, usually it's like, okay, half orc barbarian, half elf wizard. Like there's always like kind of tropey things that make sense. And it's not just tropes. It's like the characters are built a certain way. Like the races are built a certain way to give you bonuses that work for those classes. But I like to go against that. I like to make dichotomies and make opposites within a character so that there's some kind of inner conflict always happening.
Right.
So that's my approach as a player. But then as a GM and a DM, it really depends. Cause like I can tell you right now, Lords of Faerun, the game that we played together, that was very much character driven. And of course I did a lot of work in like getting to know Faerun and the different places and stuff. So I could like run us through encounters and stuff in different places, but it all came from your character's backstories, as you know, like that whole storyline. And then there were some encounters that were random and you met new characters that y'all didn't know, plenty of that. But the main story threads were from y'all's backstories and what you all were challenged with as characters. That was the meat of that story. But then with this Marvel campaign, the new one, it's almost, I think my approach is a little bit opposite because I decided I wanted to do a multiverse story and I created the overall through line first before I knew what everyone was playing. And now as we're getting into it, that storyline, they're discovering the mystery and uncovering things. And now it is through their lens, through the characters, the player's lens, but the world was built before they were in it.
Right. Oh, wow. When is the Marvel thing showing again? Are you okay with saying that?
Yeah, it's we can announce it. Yeah, it's Wednesday, July 6th is when we premiere.
Oh, so exciting. Yeah. Who's gonna be in it?
Yeah, so it's Melee Damage, Cynthia Marie, Aki, and Ree.
Okay, yeah.
And Kira.
Of course.
And Nas Wicked.
Oh, nice.
I think that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 main characters.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm a big fan of everyone there, including of course yourself. So I'm very excited to see the kind of world. Are they playing like characters that like, so it's Marvel, of course. Are they playing like existing superheroes or?
Yeah. So the only one who is playing someone from Earth 616 is Melee.
Oh.
And I'm actually not gonna, because I want people to like find out who everyone's playing. So I won't tell you who everyone's playing yet. But Melee is playing someone from Earth 616. And part of the concept of this campaign, like I said before, I had a concept for the campaign before the players even chose their characters. The concept is that they're all from different multiverses.
Right.
And they are part of a superhero team that deals with multiversal threats.
Oh, sort of like with, what was it in Loki, but with multiverse, not
exactly, not
timeline. Not timelines. Yeah,
like the TVA, but obviously like less like the Avengers, but TVA. You know, kind of like the mashup of those
like a what if sort of like combination of every.
Actually, What If was a huge inspiration because that's what happened.
Is so good.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Let's get back to another question that I wanted to ask. What is your favorite story? So everybody has a favorite trope, a favorite story that they always end up exploring. I know you mentioned sci-fi. Personally for me, I absolutely enjoy stories with a very twist ending. Where one thing is happening and then it changes like that. And I absolutely love that. What kind of tropes do you usually like in your stories?
Tropes I like in my stories.
And it could be anything like romance tropes or like something that is your, like, you can say, okay, this is gonna appear in my story no matter what no matter what the setting is.
I think I really like pulling when I'm, again, as a GM, I like pulling characters from people's backstories and having something very fundamentally change about that person. So like with your character in Lords of Faerun, Sloane had this wizard chasing her and like basically seeking revenge for your assassin family. But the twist was the fundamental change was that they decided that they didn't want to kill you. They wanted to work with you. They wanted to join forces with you. And so things like that.
It was definitely a twist because everybody was not prepared to be like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Also, by the way, you can change the skin color if you go to the top right where there's a little there.
That's what
yeah. So in like you can change skin color of the different stuff that you can do.
Amazing. Okay. Yes. I had a question because like I like this exosuit. Yes. But it looks like it's covered by clothes. Can I take the clothes off?
Yes, you can. If you go to equip,
equip. Okay.
Yes. So you can just take the clothes off. So they also have clothes that you can add on and take them off, that kind of thing. But yes.
Okay. Bottoms. Oh, I see. Bottoms.
Yes. So you could change like different attires. You can remove all the clothes if you want to. How
do I remove the clothes?
You would just click on, so for when it comes up, you just click on it and it'll unselect it and then it'll remove it. So
she's wearing little shorts, I think. Yeah, these little shorts. So I want to just remove them.
I think it's gonna be in the undergarments, I think.
Undergarment bottom. Yep.
Ta-da!
There we go.
So there's a lot like what I love about Neverending's character app is that they have modern stuff. They have it basically is like they have superhero stuff. I know they're working with masks so they can do like different superhero masks. I'm excited for that.
Ooh.
So many things.
I'm gonna give her this type of top.
Ooh. Like a little shoulder. Yeah. There's
all right.
I really love this creator.
This is fun.
Also, if you have any requests about different things, I know I've been requesting Jamie to give me a dragon pet. I know I've seen it and I know it's happening. But there will be a dragon pet up there somewhere. All right.
Nice.
Oh, this is the one thing that I'm excited about is if you go to it should be in equipment. I think it's in build. If you go to build and then where is the one that is it has accessibility. And I think you would really like that.
Yeah, so I gave her these two that looked kind of like maybe prosthetic arms, but
there's one that is it should be an equip. I think it's an equip.
Oh, okay.
And then if you I'm not it might be under forearm, there are forearm crutches.
Oh, interesting.
So, that might be fun. And I really, really like that because people can just do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Another question that I have for you. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer being a GM more or do you prefer being a player more?
I love them both equally.
Both equally.
I do, for such different reasons.
All right, well, tell me the reason why you love being a GM more than a player, and then tell me why you love being a player more than a GM.
Okay. So as a GM, I really enjoy getting to guide people through an experience, through a story.
Mhm.
I also love being surprised by my players and what they bring to the table. I
Mhm.
love how I will have these like pins that I set up and my players knock them down in ways that I never could have imagined. I love that. I also love the very nerdy task of doing research to prep for a campaign. Like I love having an excuse to nerd out on things and do deep dives and read all the books and source books and go on YouTube. Like I love that part of it. I love the research part of it. And then when I'm running a game, I feel the most present than I do in my life. It just, you have to be listening. You have to be just
Paying
like
attention.
Yeah, and like super present with people. And also just the magic that's created by telling a story with people. Like we all have an image in our heads, and the image changes, and the image might be different from person to person, but we all have like at least some baseline things that we have in common in the image, and we kind of create them together and share them together. It's just magical. It's magical. I love it.
I think I haven't had that many chances to sort of DM. Actually, doing this show is giving me the most chance that I've had to like sort of like lead the story, that kind of thing. But I have played in a lot of games, and I know you have too.
Yeah.
Recently, you can say your most favorite of all time, but I know that can be difficult. Of all the characters you've created recently, which one is your favorite and why?
Okay, recently, I played on a campaign with D&D Beyond, and I played an Aarakocra paladin, and that was a fun character because I think I have tended to play characters that were more sciencey or techie or logic based, Vulcans, like basically. And that character was the opposite. She was kind of like an 80s cartoon, like He-Man, She-Ra type cartoon character. She was just like very wanted to be a hero and just like, yeah, I'm gonna build like that kind of character. It was so fun and freeing to play her. So she's one of my recent favorites. Another one is a character that I'm building right now for a Pathfinder campaign that I'm going to be playing in. And that's a tree person. And in Pathfinder, their tree people are very trippy because they're actually, the tree is just their exoskeleton body. They're actually like these like, what do you call them? I guess you would call them like pieces of galactic consciousness that are encased in a tree exoskeleton.
That is very trippy to think about.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be playing one of those. And I'm really excited to like just get this character up on her feet and just see kind of who they are and find out how they interact with people. They're gonna be very much like discovering the world. A data character.
I love those characters because they come up with like the most hilarious and they're not even trying to be funny. It's just funny. Okay.
Yeah.
That is fun to think about. The hairs there are so fun. You can do so much with hairs.
Yeah. Oh, that's dope. I kind of like that. I think I want her horns to be bigger though.
I think there are bigger horns, but I don't know if you can make the horns bigger.
Oh yeah, I think I'll just pick bigger ones. I forget where.
I think it's in the head.
On the head.
Yeah.
I thought it was separate. They were separate from the head. I can't remember if that's the case.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's in the scales. No, it might be. It might be in the hair area.
Oh, that. But oh no, I was just in the hair.
Oh, it's the option below the scales.
Supernatural.
Ah.
Ooh, did you see those like branch ones?
I did see them. So go ahead and click on the tail first and then click back on the horns again.
Tail and horns.
Yeah.
Yay. Oh.
Oh my gosh. Some of them I think it doesn't match the body type. That's why it's grayed out.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's also these that kind of poke up. I thought I did the mohawk. Wait, yeah, let me go back.
You could just go back to it and change it back to the mohawk.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Yeah. And then click on it again.
Mohawk and horns. That's my gal. That's what we're doing today.
Why won't it show? Click on a different hair first. And then give it give.
There we go.
Yeah. That actually looks really cool.
I like it.
Yes, I do know all the tricks, Jamie, because I've made a million characters with this character creator. I haven't even shown you all of the characters. Basically, every character I've ever created has one in Never Ending. So that's why I feel like I should get a dragon as a pet eventually, soon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And then, okay. So another question I have for you. Mm-hmm. Where do you draw most, like, I know you said Star Trek and Buffy the Vampire Slayer are your favorite fandoms. Where do you draw your inspiration from when it comes to like world building?
Yeah, let's see. I think it like I'm also a big dystopia fan.
Yeah.
And so with dystopia, you know, it's always like, what if this one major thing was different? If that, then what else? And you kind of extrapolate from just kind of like one core difference from our world. And so I think I always kind of go back to that. And especially now with running this Marvel game and figuring out all the multiverses with my players, because they are also co-creating their multiverse with me as we play the game. Like we had baseline ideas about their multiverses before we start playing, but now as we visit their multiverses, they're getting really formed together. So I know like one of the players, we decided to make it a world that is similar to Earth 616, our normal world, but the one main difference is that superheroes are not out. Oh. And so we're literally using it as a metaphor for coming out. Like the people with superhero powers hide them. They don't want to talk about them. If they have something that's going on with them, and they go to the doctor or tell a therapist, the therapist will usually be like, it's probably all in your head, you know, like this is a world that does not want to address superhero powers and acts like they don't exist. And so you'll see in the series, obviously that has to change. Right. Like a world like that. And I think that also is a metaphor for this world we're in now, where there are a lot of us who are seeing like, people need to have the freedom to live differently from the norm. And the norm doesn't mean it's correct. It just means that's what most people have accepted as normal. But there are plenty of other ways to live that aren't freaking harming anyone. And we need to be okay with letting people live freely so that they can be fulfilled and happy in their lives. And I think this world in our Marvel game is kind of going through that, cracking open the door and people starting to come out as being superhero and superpowered. So and that's literally just taking our world and just taking it out a little bit. Yeah, exactly. Switching one major thing. So I think that that to me is always like a pretty good approach to world building. Someday I am gonna go really wild and create worlds that are just like everything's like Spider-Verse, you know, or even like the paint world in Multiverse of Madness. Not to spoil it, but that's such a tiny element. It's not really a spoiler.
It's okay. I haven't watched it, but in my head, I'm like, there's probably a lot of things in the world over there.
There's a lot of multiverses they go through. So
there's when it comes to the multiverse right now, there's a lot of stories about it, actually. I know with the Loki story started out with the multiverse like breaking apart with Marvel. That is basically the thing. I know Umbrella Academy is out and they're with multiverses too.
Oh.
Have you watched Umbrella Academy?
A little bit. I watched a little bit of the first season, and
they're on the third season now, and it's just so good.
Yeah, I liked it. I just, sometimes you kind of fall off on things, and then you have to catch up. So I'm way behind.
What is your? I like watching a lot of TV shows, and a lot of my characters are derived from TV shows. Like, for example, TV shows in real life. Like, currently, I'm working on a character, a VTM character that is an influencer, but is a Nosferatu influencer, which is definitely gonna be a stretch of the imagination, but it's gonna be fun, and I'm working on it. What is your favorite TV show recently?
There's a lot of stuff I haven't watched. I'm kind of in between, like watching a new thing and then watching something old or rewatching something. So right now I'm rewatching Stranger Things. Which I love. I love Stranger Things. And I love this season too. I think this is so my ranking of the Stranger Things seasons right now, no one asked, but I'm going to tell you, is 1 and then 2 and 4.
They're the
and
same.
Then 3. Yeah, so far. And then 3 is like pretty far down.
It's okay.
3 is my least favorite season for specific reasons. We can or can't get into it, whatever.
You mentioned that you also write. Do you write TTRPG stuff as well? Would you mind talking a little bit about that?
Yeah, I am. Okay. I feel like I don't really love the term late bloomer, but sometimes it applies. And I think I'm a late bloomer because I've been, oh goodness, writing is so.
I've decided Amazons. Sorry, they're in the chat.
Oh, hi. I'm looking at the chat. So yeah, I write a lot of things. I'm not trying to like take a lot of my peers are like TV writers now who I did improv with, and I really like respect them for that. But that was never a path I really wanted to take, even though I would love to like create television.
Right.
I don't know. It's weird. I just never felt drawn to being part of that industry in that way. I'm an actor. I do want to create stories with people and stuff like that. But I don't know. I decided to take another path. And so what that means for me now is like between TTRPGs, between screenwriting, I do write like film stuff. I am writing, and yes, I do write TTRPG stuff. For the past 5 years that I've been a game master, I've written most of the things I run are adventures that I've written. And I realized like, oh, I should maybe start trying to like publish those or like pitch stuff to people. Yeah. So I'm in that process now. It took me a while to realize, oh yeah, you're writing a lot. Maybe like try to make money from the writing.
Maybe tell people that this is the world that I'm running and, share it. I'm doing it already. Might as well make money out of it.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could choose, I'm trying to come up with a way to ask this question. If you could choose to live in one fictional setting forever, and you can't leave it anymore, which fictional setting would you choose to stay in? And it could be a TTRPG world, it could be a fictional world, it could be a world that you created. And also, Jamie said, we need to get you as a paid guest writer on Anansi's Tapestry of Lives, which is, by the way, Never Ending's book on NPCs.
Cool.
So if Your NPCs, by the way, are magical, and you should introduce them to the world. Jamie, yes, you should get Aliza as a paid guest writer on Anansi's Tapestry of Lives. But yes,
please, please reach out. Like, I'd be down. I'd love to. Yeah, let's do this.
We've got K. Jim Zoon as a writer, a guest writer as well. I think if I'm not mistaken, Gabe might be a writer too. I don't know. I know I am.
Awesome.
Sort of. I think I am one, right? You're not taking it back, right? you're still letting me write. You're still letting me write stuff, right? Jamie. Anyway, fictional setting. Where would you like to live forever?
I would. Oh my god, should I give her a mustache?
Oh my god, it's so cute. It's so cute. I actually. Oh no, do the
braid,
the braided one. I want to see what it looks like.
It's actually really cute.
It's adorable.
I think we're gonna keep it.
I kind of like it.
Yeah,
I kind of really like it.
Yeah. All right. So I think I've built her whole body.
Yes.
And now I'll do the
equipment. Yeah. But yes, fictional setting.
Okay. So yeah, fictional setting that I would want to live in. Star Trek.
Yeah.
Star Trek.
That makes sense. It also makes sense that you chose Teens in Space because it's sort of like Star Trek-y. What is it about Star Trek that makes you like, all right, this is it. This is the world.
I like the technology. Mm-hmm. Holodecks are cool. Spaceships are cool. Warp drive is cool. I like that it's post a lot of conflict that we're still dealing with on this earth. Mm-hmm. They figured out how to eliminate things like capitalism and provide for everyone. Mm-hmm. And still, and have a functioning society. I love that. Mm-hmm. I like the idea of there being other societies out there that we interact with. And I know that part is not utopian. I don't need to live in a utopia. And I know Star Trek is only a utopia on Earth, really.
Yeah.
Even the Federation itself is not utopian. It's like very corrupt, or Starfleet, I should say. Starfleet, upper brass, and all the admirals and stuff are always evil. So there's a little piece of Star Trek that is utopian, and that's basically Earth's history,
right,
or Earth's current timeline. All those things. And if you want to know specifically which era of Star Trek I'd want to live in,
yes,
I think that would probably be the TNG era,
the Next Generation.
Yeah. It would be that.
I've heard many good things about it. I actually haven't watched Star Trek, and I feel like I should, because I just don't know where to start. But I definitely will. Okay.
There's so many places you could start.
We're reaching sort of the end of our interview.
Okay.
Before we go to the one shot, I do have one last sort of question for you. And then we'll take a quick break. But my question for you is, if you could look at a newbie, somebody entering this space for the first time, either as a writer, a player, DM or performer, AP player, what is the advice that you would give to them that you wish was given to you when you started, or when you first started?
It's wild because I have experienced TTRPGs first as a performer, and then and now as like a creator, kind of. Right. So yeah, I guess I'm not sure if it's a matter of I wish someone had told me this. I think it's stuff that I learned just being around other players who are good players and great GMs and professionals. That kindness matters. that I mean, and this goes for a lot of different stuff too, as an actor too, being kind, being present, taking care of yourself, checking in on people, actually caring about other people. Also having boundaries is important. It's such a delicate balance, and honestly, everyone's balance needs to be their own unique balance. You can't say like you should be open to everyone and playing with anyone, because some people no, that's actually not the case for some people. They shouldn't play with people who make them uncomfortable or who they don't get along with or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So like I think everyone has to have their own boundaries and discernment. And what else about the actual like games? I would say one thing I would say that I can say like to newbies is don't be intimidated by mechanics. Like if you like telling stories and fantastical worlds and things like that, TTRPGs are for you. And you can learn rules. It might take you a long time if you're new to it. You can also learn games that have simpler rules if you want to just kind of start with that. But if you like stories and you like genre stories, then don't let rules stop you from playing TTRPGs or making TTRPGs.
Let's look at your character.
Okay.
Did you give them a stage or a pose?
I did.
Oh.
I'm giving her some color now because I forgot to do that. Oh, I did it. Oh, it looks yellow though.
It's because it's just it's just highlighting it. It's not actually the color.
Okay.
So
I think I want her to have dark green hair.
So you could drag it from it's over there at the top. So you know how
drag this around.
Yeah. You could also at the bottom, like near there's this RGB Roy GBIV whatever thing at the top. You could just drag it around so that it's more green.
Okay. Let me pick another one. I like this dark, deep, mossy green though.
Yeah.
It's very cool. It's like it's almost black green.
Yeah. You can also drag that one.
Yeah, add some more green. Okay. And then do I just click on this?
Yeah, you can just click on the little color picker at the top again to close it. And then you
that looks good.
Yeah. So you're still on the beard and mustache. You would have to go to each part.
Right. Okay.
So, you can go back to the hair, change the color of their hair. Yeah.
I want that green.
Ooh,
accent.
I like that.
We're gonna do purple lavender accents. Yes.
I like that. It looks so nice.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what color her skin, her like head and ears really, because she has an exoskeleton.
Right.
Which I will make. I forgot where I got the exoskeleton.
I think you could just click on click on the bottom, the second one.
The second one?
After the body. The next one.
Below?
On the silver line. So
okay.
And then click back on the body again.
Okay.
And then you can click on the color picker.
Okay.
So you could change the whole skin thing. Because right now it's gray. You could change it.
Maybe like a light green. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she has an exoskeleton. That's why most of it is. I'm not I think it might be
it's under skin.
Yeah.
There we go. I'll just make it like a gray, so it's silvery kind of thing.
Ooh, there's a lot that you do so much accents on it.
Yeah, maybe like gray and black.
Yeah.
Or what about this color? That's kind of cool.
I like it.
Yeah, I'll bounce between these two colors. And then accent for gray. And then her shirt, her hands and ears.
Yeah.
I'll do the ears next.
I think it's near the, yeah. There we go.
Ears. Those will be the green of her skin. Oh, you can do different colors for each ear. Give a little accent.
It's really nice because you can do so much with it.
Yeah.
And you can get really into like the way you change the colors of the actual, the actual character. And by subscription, I think you can have a free account, but by subscription you can have like really unlimited amounts, and it's great because you can use this for your streams, for your NPCs. Personally, I cannot draw. I'm trying to learn, but this one is great for that.
Yeah. Think black horns.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And then
oh, I love the horns.
Yeah.
Hi. Thanks for joining us. Nat One Fun. I think that's Dan.
Oh, hello.
Hello. We are creating Aliza's character that we're going to run in about 10 minutes. Oh, well, about 8 minutes from now. So we're going to be playing Teens in Space, which you can find, by the way, by going to Hunter's Entertainment. And we are going to play Teens in Space, where we are going to introduce... Do you have a name for your character?
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. I think her name is Gorgeous.
Gorgeous is a good name.
Do I type it in here?
Yes, so that we can also save it.
I'm going to spell it weird. Gorgeous.
Yes.
Yeah. Or gorgeous. Gorgeous. Yeah, gorgeous. Okay.
Yes.
1S.
Make sure to save your work whenever you do things, because sometimes it'll close itself and then you don't have your character and you work so hard to get it. So make sure you save your work every time you're creating characters. But yes, we will be back in about 5 to 10 minutes, and we will be running Aliza's character Gorgeous through a one-shot. Don't go away, and we'll be right back shortly. Bye! Hey everyone, and we're back. This is the finished product. I would like to introduce to you Gorgeous. And Gorgeous is, you'll get to know Gorgeous a little bit better, because we're going to start a little adventure today, and we'll be playing Teens in Space. Ta-da! All right. You wake up. Oh. You wake up, and at first you're a little disoriented. You're not sure where you are or what you're doing there, and it's dark everywhere around you. But as you're lying down, it all comes back. You're on your ship. Your ship, you think to yourself. Do you remember how you got this ship?
I think I got my ship from my planet.
Mm-hmm.
It was my family's ship.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the only one left, so I took the ship and left.
That's right. It's all coming back to you. You're remembering your past. Maybe you were in a dream. It has been several years now since you did uh, lose your family, lose your planet, and this is the only thing that reminds you of your planet. You're supposed to be here. At first, it was confusing, but you're supposed to be here. You're meant to be here. And you look out the window and you see it. It's a view awash with stars. Everywhere you look, you can see little pinpricks of light. And you can't even, you've been so far away from home that you can't even remember where exactly your planet was, which direction. Um, why don't you tell me a little bit more about your planet and who you are? Like what you're, what type of species you're from, the kind of species you are.
Well, I forgot the name of them.
Alcyon.
What is it called? Calcian. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a Calcian, which means that my species was extinct a long time ago, as you said. But number one, I survived. And actually, now that I'm remembering more, I survived because my mother uploaded my consciousness to the ship.
Yeah.
But all of our bodies were burnt up when our planet was destroyed.
Yeah.
So she sent the ship off with my consciousness uploaded to it. It crash landed somewhere. And then 6 years later, I woke up and built a body out of mechanics.
Yeah. And you can tell. Why don't you describe your body, your how you look?
Well, I have managed to make a body out of synthetic materials that kind of approximates what my body was when I was a fleshy person. So I'm wide-hipped, I'm very muscular, I have broad shoulders, and a big bust. And otherwise, humanoid.
Right.
I have pointy ears near the top of my head like a cat. And then behind those, I have these black, slightly twisted horns that reach up to the sky. And also facial hair was very big in my culture. So I was able to make synthetic mustache, braided mustache that looks like the one that I had.
Right.
So yeah, everything's made of metal. But then the top part of my body, I was able to make synthetic skin. I just haven't gotten around to it for the bottom of my body.
Right. And you look great.
Thank you.
You look fantastic, I have to say. Finally, you're a bit more awake. You turn the light on. You leave your room finally. And the ship that you found yourself in, this ship is actually a science vessel. It's built for deep voyages. That's why your mom used this ship, because it was meant to get you as far away as possible. And it is early in the day cycle, and none of your crew is awake. By the way, what service do you really provide for your group? Like, what do you do in this in your ship?
Well, it's a science vessel. And my planet, we were a species that kind of had a balance between nature and science, and our view of science is very much tied to nature. So I have recruited a crew as well to help me do this, but I use that knowledge from my species to go to other planets and help diagnose sicknesses that might be happening in their forests, or certain trees and bushes that are invasive, and just saying, yes, this is invasive, but you could maybe move them to this area and they'll be fine. They won't mess with your other species. You don't have to kill them. So just basically, I'm a medic for plants.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. How do you feel about your ship? I know it's the only remembrance of home, but do you have a favorite part of your ship that's, well taken care of? That's yours?
Yeah, so there's I love the ship. Yeah, I feel very connected to it because it's the only thing left of my culture, my planet, my family. And I'm not also by the way, I'm not highly emotional. I'm sentimental though.
Right.
I'm kind of like, if you think of Drax, the way Drax can be very like, can say things that are like very deep, even though it's very simplistic. I'm like that, but with emotions.
Right.
So I definitely understand sentiment, but I don't really show emotion very much as maybe a human would. So anyway, when I think through these things, I feel the sentiment. And there is a part of the ship at the top that when I was a kid, I would go up and my mom would show me the stars and the different galaxies. It's basically a little bubble of reinforced glass that you can just pop your whole body in and like look up at everything.
Oh, wow.
That's my favorite part of the ship.
It sounds like a beautiful part of the ship as well. And you do spend some time there when you leave your room. You do spend some time there. But it's now time for some work to be done on your ship. And you are getting ready for the day, but you do notice that the computer doesn't seem to be responding to your touch. Usually, it's your ship. It's definitely mostly yours compared to the rest of the crew. But it doesn't seem to be responding at this point. What do you do?
I'm gonna run a diagnostic to see if I can see what's wrong with it.
Okay. When you run your diagnostics, the computer asks for a handprint and requests for your handprint.
Oh, okay. I look at my hand and say, maybe I should have synthesized the skin sooner on my hands. Let's see if this works.
Okay.
And I put my hand in the place.
Okay. The computer scans it, and this isn't the first time you've scanned with your metal hand. But this is the first time the computer goes, unknown print. Please scan again.
I try my other hand.
Unknown print. Please scan again.
Uh-oh. I try the first hand again.
And it says unknown print, please scan again. And it is it seems the spaceship it says that you have 3 more scans before computer is locked.
Oh no. Okay. Do I know if anyone else on the ship would have also this type of access?
Everybody on the ship would have access to the computer because you're all you trust the teenagers that are on your ship, and everyone seems to have access to that. Yes, you would know this.
Okay, I would call over my second in command.
Okay. Do you use a comm, or do you just...
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll probably use the comm.
Okay. The comm comes to life, and you hear your second in command. His name is Anders. And Anders responds, "Huh? Who is this?"
It's your captain. Gorgeous.
Captain?
Can you come down here to the bridge, please?
Jeanette, are you making fun of me?
No. Who?
I'll be right there. And then you can hear like movement around, and as their movement around the comm is shut down, you do hear the doors like sort of like slide open, and right behind you is what you consider your best friend. It is it's the head is sort of like a fishbowl, and in it is goo, but you can see the eyes and the lips, but it's like goo. It's like if it's like Jello, but in a spacesuit. But the head is like, you can see, or this is your best friend. Because you're used to like, oh, we have no bodies really, and we're using. So this is your best friend, and your best friend, Gelatin. I'm just gonna give him the name Gelatin. Gelatin looks at you and is like, "Who are you? What are you? Who are you? Very confused.
I'm Gorgeous, your best friend.
I don't. And then you can see Gelatin sort of like reaching out to like a gun, and he's like, "How did you get on our ship?"
I woke up on this ship, and it's my ship. What do you mean?
What are you?
Do I have a weapon on me?
You do actually. It is you have a like a laser gun basically as well. It's similar to what Gelatin is using.
Okay, look, I have one of those too, but I'm not gonna reach for it because I want to show you can trust me. I'm your friend. I did not break onto this ship. I am not going to harm anyone. Why don't you remember me? That's what we need to figure out.
I don't know. You need to step away from the console.
I take a step away from the console.
And Gelatin comes in and puts their hand on the console, their like gloved hand, and the computer goes, Gelatin, thank you. What does the computer usually say when it's like access granted? Gelatin, please welcome to the console or whatever. And the computer is talking to Gelatin just fine. And this is something that you're used to. This is your ship. And Gelatin is like knows everything about this, just like you do. And you don't remember Gelatin knowing this. Basically, it looks like Gelatin talks like Gelatin, but it's doing a lot of Gelatin things that are not your Gelatin.
I wonder if I'm in a different version of my universe.
Maybe. You do see Anders burst in, and it is your second in command, Anders, but he looks at you without any recognition. Who are you? What are you doing here?
I'm Gorgeous. Maybe I'm a bit lost. That's possible.
How did you get here?
I just woke up here.
Where?
Where did I wake up?
In your room.
In my room?
Yeah, in your room.
In my room.
You mean Janet's room?
Oh, right, Janet's room. Look, okay, listen. I don't know what's going on, but as far as I know, this is my ship. I'm not saying I'm stealing your ship, just to be clear.
This is Janet's ship.
Oh, okay. Who's Janet?
And then Janet is the captain.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Who is Janet? Where is she? Or they, or whatever.
And then Anders turns around and walks towards your room, which is Janet's room, and looks inside and is like, and then quickly jumps out. What did you do with Janet?
I didn't do anything with Janet. Okay, I think I know what's happening. Me and Janet got switched somehow. Some type of strange, metaphysical, scientific thing happened.
We've got to figure out what's going on.
Janet's on my ship. I'm on Janet's ship. I think.
Maybe. And then they're basically like Gelatin is like typing around and looking for like any idea of who you are. Can you tell me what your name is again?
Gorgeous. One word. Gorejus.
Gorgeous. Okay. All right. And then another person walks in, and this one is a giant frog creature walks in.
Oh, hello.
And then goes, "Oh, hey, Gorgeous, what's up?" And and then Anders, Gelatin, why are you all so loud so early in the morning?
You know me?
Yeah. Gorgeous, our captain.
Thank you.
And then Anders turns to the new person that comes in. What are you talking about? Janet is our captain. And then the other the frog creature looks back at Anders and goes, "Yeah, Janet, gorgeous. This is gorgeous, Janet." And you can tell that this frog creature is like saying that you and Janet are one and the same.
What? I'm Janet.
Yeah. What's
Okay.
going on? What's going on? We all need to have a meeting. We all need to sit down and have a meeting. And these are the 4 people. You are the only 4 people on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And you're all sitting down now, in circles. Anders and Gelatin sitting far away from you as possible, with this frog creature who you now know is Jackson. Mm-hmm. Jackson and yeah.
Do I remember Jackson?
You do.
Okay.
But you're not close. Jackson is the one that you don't particularly like. You're not really close to them. You're just sort of like, all right, I guess. That's how you feel about Jackson. And Jackson is like sitting there and he goes, I don't understand what's going on. And Anders goes, can you repeat everything that you did today one more time?
Yeah, so well, today is morning, so really all I've done is wake up and find out that I couldn't log into the ship's computer.
Of course not. You aren't included in Janet's access.
Not according to Jackson.
Continue. Is that it?
So, pretty much. I put my hand on the access panel and it denied me multiple times.
Okay. I'm gonna
tell me.
That's really strange. Do you remember anything last night? Anything at all?
Do I remember anything?
I'm going to... Do you have any dice nearby, by any chance?
Absolutely.
All right.
What kind do we need?
I will have you roll for brains, which is on your lone survivor, is a d6.
All right. I got a 6.
Awesome. You do remember that there was a big sort of like turbulence that occurred at around midnight, but you didn't really recognize it as anything really important. It did just happen in the middle of the night, and you just went back to sleep.
Yeah, all I remember is trying to sleep, and then a lot of disturbance happened. But that's all I remember from last night.
A lot of disturbance. And then Anders stands up and goes...
Turbulence, I should say.
A lot of turbulence. Anders then stands up and goes to the computer and again scans with his hand. You're feeling very upset now because this is the second time somebody is let in from your ship. And the computer goes, access granted. Welcome, Anders. And then Anders is typing, what are you actually? I don't recognize what you are.
What am I?
Yeah. I've never seen you before. And Jackson goes, what are you guys talking about? It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous, our captain.
Thank you, Jackson. I guess you could say I'm a cyborg, but I come from a planet that was destroyed several years ago.
And then Anders types that information in, and you can see flashing on the screen what looks like you, but less metal. But, you know, like your shape, but it isn't cyborg. It's basically like what you would have looked like and what you recognize that you would have looked like on screen. Does this mean anything to you?
Yeah, that looks like me, or what I was before I had this body.
That's Janet. And Janet has never told us about her home planet being destroyed.
There must be some type of divergence in timelines or something, or parallel universes.
We need to get Janet back.
And I would like to get back to my ship, because this doesn't seem like my ship. I can always log into my ship. So this must not be my ship.
Jackson then looks at you and says, "You're not Janet."
No.
But you're also gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
This is all very confusing.
Wait, but Jackson, you see me and Janet as the same person?
Yes.
Huh. Jackson, does your species have the ability to feel different realities at the same time?
Auras? I guess. I've never really thought about it. I haven't really looked very far. It might be, yeah.
Maybe that's why you have always seen me and Janet as the same person, but really we're from two different versions of this reality.
Huh. That would make sense.
Or she's my long lost sister twin. But how did I wake up on her ship and where is she?
We need to find out where and how to get you back. Because this is very frustrating. Go ahead.
The turbulence. Did any of you feel that?
Gelatin and Anders looks at each other, and only Jackson raises his hand.
Huh. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I felt it. And then Gelatin and Anders was like, I usually sleep really heavy. I don't really do much in the way of that. And Gelatin goes, I would have felt the shaking if it did shake. I'm very jello.
Well, how about we plot a course back to about where we were at midnight last night. See if there's any type of spatial phenomenon that could have disrupted things.
You're right. And then Gelatin goes, "You trust her?" Anders then looks at Gelatin. "It's the only way I can think of getting Janet back." And you can tell that Anders has sort of attachment to this Janet person, and it's very different from the Anders of your ship. The Anders of your ship is actually like very competitive with you. Wants like fights with you when it comes to trying to be captain, and is only letting you be captain because you own the ship, and is like, that's the Anders of your, and you notice this. But the Anders of this world is very attached to Janet. But the Gelatin is like, I don't trust this gorgeous person. I don't trust them. And and Gelatin is not even hiding it. Like, Gelatin is not even whispering. I don't trust her. What if it's just another trap? And then
another trap? Have you been trapped before recently? By me?
I don't know who you are. Gelatin squints at you. But I'm gonna keep a close eye on you.
Okay.
And then Anders would then go back to the computer and starts plotting to go back to where you are. What do you do in the meantime? Like, obviously Gelatin is standing there, like, just glaring at you, and Jackson is sitting there very confused while Anders is like trying to get the ship to turn around to where it was. What do you do?
I'd like to do a couple things depending on if I can.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Jackson to take me to the mess hall.
Okay.
To get some food.
Okay.
And then I would like to check out Janet's quarters.
Okay.
To see if there's any clues there.
Okay, let's go to the mess hall. The mess hall is not really a mess hall. It's more of like a small kitchen. Your ship is big and comfortable enough for 4 people, but it's not a big ship. So you go there and you do see like a kitchen, and you see there are like little name tags of everybody. Like there's a name tag for Jackson for like their things and whatever. You don't see your name, but you do see Janet's name on stuff that you recognize as yours.
Weird.
This is your things, but instead of your name stuck on the thing, it's Janet's name.
I would like to just have a little snack thing.
Okay.
So I guess I'll take one of Janet's foods.
One of Janet's foods. Janet has a couple of like cereal, because you did build yourself with machinery, but you also made yourself want the foods that normally you would want. What kind of snacks does Janet have, you think, that would be great for Gorgeous?
I think since I have a lot of muscles, I think there's going to be lots of like protein balls.
Of course.
And probably some eggs, like because those are good protein.
Right.
Eggs of different species, alien species.
Right. And you do chow down. Do you just eat them raw, or do you prepare them in the kitchen?
I'd probably boil the eggs.
Okay.
And the protein balls can be eaten at room temperature.
Of course. And you sit there and you eat, and Jackson is staring at you. Is like, I don't understand this. I feel like I know you. And I do know you. But I don't understand why the others don't know you.
I kind of know you too. Does this seem like my Jackson, by the way?
This does seem like your Jackson.
Oh, interesting. Well, I know you too. And here's the thing. They seem different from what I'm used to, but you seem the same. And you recognize me. So we're on the same page. They're on the same page. Different pages.
Do you think I got switched too?
Yeah, it seems like it. But maybe you're stuck halfway between because you know who Janet is too.
Oh, that's strange.
Yeah.
And then Jackson just keeps eating some it looks like a protein bar, but if you look closer, it's like made out of little tiny crickets. Instead of protein. Well, technically that's a protein bar.
They're
very filled with protein, and he's just biting onto it, and he's like, that's very strange. I don't know what's going on either.
And you and I felt the turbulence last night.
I did, yes. I felt it too.
So
have I always been stuck like this? Or is this new? And you see Jackson lost in thought as well, and just eating, like munching, double fisting this protein bar, this protein cricket bar, and just eats it, and is very confused about what's going on. All right, what do you do next? Are you done eating? Okay,
done eating. Gonna head to Janet's quarters. I would like Jackson to come with me.
Okay. Jackson does go with you, and Jackson shows you, and as you're walking, you do notice little things that are different, little marks, and you know your ship because it's your ship, and you know it in and out. But there are certain things about this ship that you're like, this is a little bit different. I've never noticed this part. I don't think this is, and you start realizing that this isn't really your ship. It looks like your ship. It feels like your ship. But the little things, there's little things that are off about it. And you enter into the room of this ship. the Janet's room. And it feels the same way like the ship does. You recognize a lot of the things as yours. But some of them are like in different colors. Or some of them are in different, what's the word? Some of them are shaped different. Like your bed, for example, when you sit on it, it's just not the same firmness that you're used to. That kind of thing. That's what you feel.
Jackson, this isn't my ship.
This isn't your ship?
Nope.
How did you get here?
I don't know. I think we just follow the turbulence. That's the only solid clue we have.
Okay. I think you're right. We need to go back to the main what is it called? The main place?
The bridge?
The bridge, yeah. I don't know what it's called. This is my first time flying, like first time in space. That kind of thing. And then, you do end up going to the bridge, and the minute you enter the bridge, you see Gelatin become firm again, like anxious again, looking at you, and is like, "Oh, you're back.
Hi, Gelatin.
Hello, gorgeous." And Anders does smile at that because it's funny. But like he's still very worried. Okay, it'll take us about 30 minutes to get back there now that I've made the speed go by a little bit faster. Is there anything you can tell us? Anything at all?
Oh, yeah, I figured out that this is definitely not my ship. It looks just like it.
Gelatin goes, I could have told you that.
Well, okay, Gelatin. Well, now I'm sure it's not my ship. So yeah, it seems like there was some switcheroo last night that happened.
Okay. As you're traveling closer, it's basically on sort of like Anders is piloting the ship, and you are getting closer and closer. And there's, as you're talking, there's a big turbulence that happens, and you do recognize this turbulence is the same one as last night, and it's happening. And then all of the lights turn off.
Oh.
What do you do?
Hello? Is everyone still here on the bridge? Who's here?
And you can hear a cacophony of voices. Definitely double the amount of people that was there.
Janet!
Who's calling my name? Who's calling my name? The light turns back on, and in this place is somebody that looks exactly like you, but like fleshy all over. One Jackson, two Gelatins, and two Anders. And they're all in your ship.
One Jackson, though. Interesting.
And this is kind of where we'll end this story for now. This has been Teens in Space.
That was dope.
Thank you. I should learn a lot of the scientific words, but it's okay.
You got them. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, yeah.
Teens in Space is such a fun world, because like the way the world building, the way the character creation is happening is like it's also part of the story building. So a part of what we did earlier, me asking all those questions, is the questions that you would be answering in as you're creating your character. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope the viewers enjoyed it. Before we completely end, Aliza, why don't you tell us a little, again, let's do some outros, a little bit about yourself, where we can find you, and all of that things.
Sure. Yeah. Again, you can find me at Aliza Pearl on Twitter and Instagram, ALIZ as in zebra, A. Also, the real Aliza Pearl on TikTok, and on Twitch, I'm Apizaliza, APIZA LIZA. I think that's how you spell it. And yeah, I'm an actor, writer. You can find me on TV sometimes, NCIS LA most recently. And you can find me running a Marvel game soon on the Cookout TTRPG, which is twitch.tv/Kira858.
Perfect. That is so exciting. I'm excited to hear to see those shows that you're in, and I'm excited to eventually play with you again, because I am gonna learn this system a whole lot more, and maybe we'll have more fun with Gorgeous in a different time. I'm Glaiza. I am a person with many hats. Thank you for watching Trial Run. Trial Run will not be coming back on Friday next month because we're moving to a different time slot. So you should keep an eye on Be Never Ending for when our new time slot is announced, but we are not going anywhere. Trial Run will continue every month, where we will be interviewing GMs, DMs, game designers, TTRPG personalities, and everything else in between, and run them through a quick one-shot of either their games or a game of their choice. Thank you so much for watching. Tomorrow, I will be on my own channel because I will have a charity stream for Pro-Choice America. So keep an eye out for announcements for there. It'll be a Monster Care Squad one shot, and in the other half of the game, I will be dating dragons. So it's called Monsters and Dragons. That'll be tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But other than that, thanks so much for watching, you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.